Hello everyone and welcome to the Smashi Business Show. Today is Wednesday, 1st of October 2025 and I'm Abdul Majid Awan.
Hi, I'm Farah Makhlouf and we've got a packed show for you today. We're going to talk about Replit founder. He's urging tech industry to speak out on Gaza. Careem invests in UAE car rental platform Swapp. Gems Education bids for Saudi school operator Ajialuna Education, and Dubai journalist calls for courtesy towards speakers at major events.
Yeah, the very first story for today is very interesting. Masad, the Jordanian-American founder of coding platform Replit, has called on the global tech community, basically he's pointing towards Silicon Valley, to take a public stance on the war in Gaza, which is a genocide, registered genocide. All agencies, everyone who is an expert on genocide says it's a genocide now. In a post on X, Masad said, silence is no longer an option, reflecting on his own decision to denounce what he described as a genocide.
Masad revealed he faced backlash from venture capital circles for speaking out, including alleged sabotage, blocked investments, and personal threats. Despite this, he stressed that founders and executives should voice their opinions on humanitarian crises.
And he said, quote unquote, alienating those who will hate you for speaking in a feature is a feature, not a bug. And Masad also wrote and he urged Silicon Valley leaders, as I said, to embrace moral clarity rather than fear potential fallout. He noted that more voices in the tech sector are starting to acknowledge the humanitarian situation in Gaza.
His comments underscore growing divisions within the technology industry over political and ethical engagement as outspoken founders increasingly push the sector to take positions on global issues. Masad's message highlights the tensions between business interests and ethical responsibility in Silicon Valley.
And this story has a follow-up also. I'll just give you a brief follow-up before we move on to the second story. Basically, yesterday, 2 days ago, when Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu was in actually September 22 and 23, not earliest. But the CEO of Vercel, it's an American company, cloud computing, and they are kind of like Replit, which Amjad Masad is the founder of. He posed with Mr. Netanyahu and said, oh, we discussed so many things, that AI is the future and blah, 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 blah. That photo went viral everywhere. And a lot of people, especially the Middle Eastern entrepreneurs, founders, whoever uses Vercel, they stopped their subscription. They posted on social media that we can't support a guy who is talking to Netanyahu and discussing the future when there's a genocide being taking place in Gaza. So Amjad Masad, very interestingly, very active on this whole thing. He came on Twitter again and he put another tweet. He said, whoever wants to transfer their accounts from Vercel, we are allowing it. You can just do it, and it takes like hardly 5 minutes to just transfer to Replit. So he kind of like cashing in on the opportunity, but he's giving you a better option, to be honest, to just move away from it.
It's not that he's trying to get people onto his platform, but it's more like, I mean, if we support the same thing, then I'm on your side.
And we've done these stories a lot in the past also. Whenever we talk about some business or someone like this doing something, supporting the genocide in Gaza by Israel, usually what we see in the comments when we do our own social listening is through our comments, and we see that a lot of people come and they start marketing their own MENA-based, Dubai-based or homegrown startups. And it's a very nice move from a lot of people that now MENA industry, tech industry is so, mashallah, potential filled that there is an alternative for everything.
Exactly.
So eToro comes under a lot of criticism that they're Israeli focused, and the founders are Israeli and the company was founded in Israel, but we have so many local startups for trading now. Serva, I think Farah must have heard it. Everyone hears Serva from my side, but Serva is there. There's a startup in Egypt, Thunder. They're the first ever startup which have ADX, the Abu Dhabi Stock Exchange, on it. So Abu Dhabi chose not Serva or not anyone, but Egyptian startups. So good for Egyptian people.
Yay.
They should be proud of it. But a lot of these things, everything that you now see has a Middle Eastern alternative or a Muslim alternative, Arab alternative, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, this is like kind of like the update on it. But moving on to the next story, it's another interesting story. Careem, as we all know, it's Uber's ride-hailing arm in the Middle East. It's very confusing for some people because still, when I talk to some people, they don't know that Careem was owned. Their ride-hailing part is now owned by Uber. They
Yeah.
bought that part. A lot of people still don't know. I'm like,
It's been
Uber bought
ages.
it.
Yeah.
But still, people are like, no, Careem is Careem.
Okay, cool.
So Uber's ride-hailing arm in the Middle East has acquired a minority stake in Swapp. What is Swapp? It's a UAE-based online car rental service. The size of the stake and the value of the investment have not been disclosed.
The two companies have been partners since 2022 when Careem integrated Swapp into its arm in its app, not arm, under the Careem car rental brand. The platform offers both short-term rentals and subscription services, and the new investment aims to expand digital solutions for customers.
And upcoming features include instant digital verification for quick onboarding, 1-hour vehicle delivery, live tracking as cars are dispatched, and the ability to swap rentals on demand, so you can literally switch your car every month. Customers will also be able to opt for lease-to-own agreements, and that's a very nice option, allowing them to purchase vehicles directly through the Swap platform.
Swapp is expanding its electric vehicle fleet and preparing for regional growth, backed by rising demand across the Middle East. Market data projects the UAE's car rental sector will generate $165 million in revenue by 2025, rising to 223 million by 2030. Numbers just get me weird. Careem, founded in 2012, now operates in over 70 cities across 10 countries.
Yeah, it's a very big, people still call Careem a startup, and they also have the startup mentality, but it's big now.
No,
nearly,
it's huge now.
Yeah. But it was very smart from Uber to buy the ride-hailing part. But this is a very important move in terms that Swapp is UAE-based. They're UAE-founded. Careem, everyone knows that it's Dubai founded, UAE founded, and both of them have merged together. And we've seen this a lot in the West when they were at their peak. There are a lot of big companies, a lot of smaller companies, they merge and make a better product. So it's good for the consumers at the end of the day. So now you can use Swapp. You have been using Swapp since 2022 in the Careem app. You can do car rentals. I saw their website. They're not that expensive.
Is it okay?
Yeah, the easier part is that if you go to a normal rental company which has a physical office, you go, there's a lot of paperwork that you need to sign, and then there's like, don't do this, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of paperwork, basically. So Swapp, the idea came with, they took everything digital. They don't have physical offices. They don't have anything. You just go on their app, you do your KYC, you know your customer. And that's it. Just book a car, and within an hour, that car will be delivered to you wherever you say.
Honestly, I feel like that's like game changing.
I think the average, the cheapest one was Nissan Sunny 2020 to 2022 model. I was just checking how it works, and it was around 2,200 dirhams per month. And they have lease to buy options. So if you're leasing, eventually in 2 years, whatever timeline you choose, you can eventually pay, and eventually own the car.
Honestly,
So
I feel like that's like
right.
amazing.
To be honest, it's a very nice way to circumvent through the banking system where
That's
you
what I
have
was
to.
going to say as
right?
well, yeah. Instead of going through the bank, this is just your
Easier
version. It's a bit more transparent, I think, as well.
Yeah, transparent. Maybe you'll pay like maybe 4,000, 5,000 more over 2, 3, 4 years, but still you'll skip all the banking procedures where, I don't know, a lot of things happen. After cards from the banks takes a lot of time. Not a lot of time, but significantly in UAE, you expect everything to happen in 5 seconds. So it takes like 2 weeks. But yeah, next up, another story which is like kind of like an M&A, merger and acquisition story. But Dubai-based GEMS Education has reportedly submitted a bid to acquire Saudi Arabia's Ajialuna Educational. Very difficult name. Took me 4 or 5 attempts to perfect it. But this was reported by Bloomberg. Several other local investors from Saudi Arabia have also made non-binding offers for the Riyadh-based company, which is majority owned by Suleiman Al Raji Holding.
Al Raji Holding is seeking to sell its entire stake in Ajialuna, which could see a deal close as nearly as November, though the timeline may shift. The acquisition is part of a wider trend of regional education consolidation.
And GEMS Education, backed by a consortium led by Brookfield Asset Management, operates more than 60 schools with over 130,000 students across the Middle East and North Africa, the MENA region. CEO Dino Varki, who is the son of the actual guy who started it, Sunny Varki, said earlier this year that the company plans to invest around $300 million over the next 2 to 3 years to boost their organic growth.
Founded in 2007, Ajialuna Education serves more than 15,000 students across Saudi Arabia through its Al Fursan International Schools in Riyadh, Al Khobar, Dammam, and Jeddah. A successful acquisition would significantly expand GEM's footprint in the kingdom and broader Gulf education market.
And it's a very important story in terms of Saudi Arabia. They'll also get gems. I think the schools that come under Ajialuna are Al Fursan schools. I've heard they're very famous schools. This is the company which then has schools. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. Saudi Arabia in the recent past has been like, no, we only want local investors. So maybe if they sell, they'll sell it to a local investor, a Saudi investor. But you never know. I think GEMS has a lot of money now.
Yeah.
They're building the most expensive school, apparently, reportedly, the most expensive school in Dubai, where fees are like $100,000.
Yeah, I've heard of that story.
It's a helicopter strip. So you can come in a...
I mean, okay, sure. I mean, if it's the most expensive school, maybe you would want a helicopter pad. Why wouldn't you?
If I have a helicopter in Dubai and I want to drop my kids and just skip the traffic and go office,
God.
why not, right?
Skip the traffic is such a good idea. But GEMs are like huge. They're even in Egypt. They have really good schools there, actually.
Oh, nice. The only good thing that I find about GEMs is they're both budget schools and then they're expensive schools. So if you find a budget school, I think the nearest one near my house in Discovery, we tried to get in there, but 2 years after. So they're like completely booked for the next 1.5, 2 years. They're completely booked. They're so, but that one is a cheaper one. I think the fee is around 18,000 dirhams per year. So obviously makes
really
sense.
good, yeah.
And coming with GEMS education, the name, the quality, the teacher and everything, obviously
it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. They guarantee it. They have good KHDA rankings. They have everything good. So even the cheapest school under GEMS is great,
Still
to be
great.
honest.
Yeah,
so yeah, that is why it's very difficult to get admission there. But yeah, moving on to our last story of the day. It's a very interesting LinkedIn post that I read from a fellow journalist. He works at AGBI, and I was really interested, and he makes sense. As the UAE's packed event season begins, Dubai-based journalist Kevin Gibbon is urging attendees to show more courtesy to speakers on stage. Before this, I used to work in the events industry. I've seen it firsthand what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So Kevin Gibbon, a well-known commentator on business and cultural affairs, has reminded audiences that respect is a crucial part of the conference experience.
In his recent commentary, Gibbon pointed out the effort people make to register, pay, and travel to major venues such as the Dubai World Trade Center and Abu Dhabi's ADNEC Center. He noted that while panels are carefully curated to feature industry leaders and experts, their insights are too often disrupted by chatter among attendees.
And experts have been selected to share their insight and opinions, and some really want to hear what they have to say. That is what Gibbon stressed. He emphasized that continued side conversations undermine the value of these high-profile gatherings.
With large-scale conferences and exhibitions expected to draw thousands of visitors across the Emirates in the coming months, his message resonates with both event organizers and audience alike, calling for a more respectful and rewarding experience for everyone.
The funny thing about this whole thing is that I've seen people, before it was people talking to each other, trying to network even during a panel session or anything.
I know.
But now it's more, people are just on their phones.
People are just...
I don't get it.
It's the attention span.
Yeah. See, some free events where registration is just free and you just go and attend it, I understand because you don't think that it's valuable because you haven't paid. But people actually pay a lot of money. One of the events that we had in the company was AIM conference. I think a leader pass or some leadership pass, it cost around $3,000. So you would get access to a lot of things and blah, blah, blah. Even those people, they were sitting in investors' lounge and I would see them on their phone. I'm like, why would you pay so much money to be in the investor lounge and be on your phone? Just go talk to people. These people are your industry people. They're investors. Maybe if you have an idea or they have an idea.
I mean, yeah, network, share ideas,
Yeah.
what have you. But I don't understand literally why this keeps happening. And I'm seeing it more and more, even in events that are maybe not as big as that, because I'm not one to attend events like that.
Yeah.
But It happens a little too often for my liking as well.
The last event that I went to, like for the whole of the event, Web Summit in Feb, Rich was there, I was there, our Love in the World team was there. Good segue into telling that we have Love in brand also. But the event, I chose like the speaker sessions which I will attend. Because obviously there's overlaps sometimes. So I was like, I'll do this. I went to all of them, I listened to all of them. But I skipped a few which I wanted to go because again, overlap, so you have to select. So if you're going, just make the most out of it. I understand that sometimes you go to a panel and you expect something miraculous to happen, them to tell you some new thing, but sometimes it gets boring. But the best way is just walk out. Don't just stay there because you found a seat and you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, I'll scroll through. Just leave. That is a better idea because, to be honest, I've sat and hosted panels, and when I look in front and look at the audience, and when one of my speakers is speaking and I'm looking at the audience and everyone is on their phone or talking, I actually felt bad for the speakers.
Me too.
I know the speakers will be like angry in their brain, but they're very composed and they're still talking about it. But as a host, I was able to see that they're speaking and these guys are not interested.
Yeah.
So looks very bad. Just try to learn this etiquette in business. It's a lot of events coming up. We are the partners with Jitex, North Star this year. So we'll be there. We'll show you around. We'll tell you what's happening. We're partners with a lot of other events. AdNec also. So yeah, if I find you personally doing something, I will come up to you and be like, can you please leave? Just kidding, but it's good to listen to them.
Yeah.
They're there for you.
And you're there for a reason as well, so make the most of it. And that's a wrap for today. Thank you for tuning into the Smashi Business Show. Make sure to follow us all across all social media channels at Smashi Business and stay ahead with our daily newsletter. You'll find the subscription link in the description.
This has been a Smashi Business Show, a Smashi Business production, part of the Augustus Media Podcast Network. A big shout out to our more than 2 million monthly listeners across all platforms. You make this possible if you're one of them. We appreciate you. Have a great day. Tomorrow on Love in the Way, where Farah works, she's the manager, the content manager.
Yes.
Right? She's the content manager. They have Basim Yusuf.
Oh my
So
God, I'm so
interview tomorrow,
excited.
right? Everyone is so excited. We shared a few clips of him, but tomorrow, Thursday, 8:30ish, 8:40, you can see Basim Yusuf's interview with us, Love in the Way, our sister brand. Bigger sister brand actually. So yeah, tune in for that, and thank you very much. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow on Thursday. Bye bye.